Hello everyone and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. So as I've alluded to in the past, I live in the south of the UK. It's both an advantage and a disadvantage. So living in a wealthy area of the country is an advantage, especially for me being in the automotive world, because a lot of automotive brands have the confidence to set up shop here. We have Ferrari, Bentley, Porsche everywhere. And of course there's the independent specialists like Super Futura. And it's a disadvantage because it's just insanely expensive to live around here. Let's take a more positive tone and focus on the second part of the first point, the independent dealerships that specialise in prestige automobiles. So just to name a few, we've got Super Futura, Romans International, Coots Automotive and the Octane Collection. There's one other that I've noticed prominently, and that's called DD Classics. I've tried to film with them on various occasions and they haven't really been interested, to be frank. But either way, they've got an amazing collection, and this weekend they've decided to open their collection up to enthusiasts. That's where I'm going now. I'm going to take you down, show you what they've got. I mean, let's go through some of their stock that I know on the top of my head. They had a 458 Speciale Aperta, an SLS Black Series, and some classics like classic Ferraris, classic Aston Martins. So we're talking tens of millions of pounds worth of cars at this place. There's probably going to be loads of people there, so it's going to be a pretty cool occasion. That's not all we're doing today. Yesterday I went and got my car completely detailed. Unfortunately it's a little bit mucky here and there, maybe on the windscreen, but it's holding up pretty nicely. The weather is pretty beautiful right now, as you can see. Blue skies, sunny, relatively warm for a winter's day in the UK. So what I'm going to do, I've teamed up with a Instagram automotive photographer, and we're going to take some pictures of the car. He will be able to do a far better job than anything that I can do. So hopefully I'll be able to have some really nice HD pictures of this car that I can share with you. And if not on here, then make sure you head over to my Instagram page, which has always been linked in my description. So anyway, I'm going to get some fuel quickly and then I'll catch you there. So I've just arrived and it's an absolutely glorious day, as you can see. This is the day after I had the Abarth cleaned. Unfortunately, it's so sad to see that there's actually some grime and grit and different things on it. The wheels are still pretty clean, but hasn't held up too badly. As you can see, there are some fairly outrageous things parked outside. I had a peek inside before filming this, and it's even more crazy inside. So this is where I decided to give you a kind of POV walk around of the showroom. But instead of doing the typical vlog thing, I'm going to guide you around with a voiceover. This way I can provide more accurate information on each car. So we start with my Abarth, and then look up at another enthusiast's Morgan three-wheeler. The first car we see for sale is a stunning right-hand drive Aston Martin Db5. Behind it is a Lamborghini Aventador Roadster, with a Bentley Arnage long wheelbase starting the first line. Then there's a Chevrolet Camaro SS, SL65 Black, with another Aventador Roadster to its left. Moving behind these we find an original Aston Martin Vantage, then a Bentley Marsan, Mercedes-Benz 300 SEL, a 1973 Porsche 911S, an Aston Martin Lagonda, which is pretty rare, and to finish off outside, a few Bentley Continental GTs. As we go inside, this is where the real fun begins. The first car we're greeted with as we walk inside, apart from that odd yellow Fiat, is a Bugatti Veyron. Then there's a late 1960s Porsche 912 sitting behind it, with a Ferrari Daytona behind that. And then another original 1979 Aston Martin Vantage. Walking between the cars, we move towards the huge Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman that has 6 doors. Swinging around so I can make a logical route around the showroom, we next see a 1971 Ferrari Daytona Spyder, with a slightly more inexpensive VM77 that's based on a Lotus 7 behind it. To its right is an incredibly more expensive Aston Db4 GT. Next to this is a Lamborghini Espada, then a Ferrari Testarossa, and finishing off with the oddly shaped 1973 Citroën DS23. From here we move back out into the main floor space and start with a very tidy 1958 Jaguar XK150. Then there's yet another Aston Vantage, but this time a concours winner. To its left is a 1971 Di Tommaso Pantera. With the next car not really needing an introduction, but I'll introduce it anyway. A 1969 Jaguar E-Type Roadster, with a small collection of Porsches to its right. First a 1992 911 964 Turbo, then a 996 GT3 RS, and finally a 1973 911S. Turning left, there's a 1985 Aston Vantage Volante, which is actually known as the Prince of Wales spec, due to this spec's first ever owner. Moving back past cars, we can start on the central selection. First up is a 2006 Ferrari 575M Super America. Next is a 1983 Lamborghini Countach 5000 with its younger brother, a 1996 Diablo SV to its left. There's then another 1971 Ferrari Daytona, this time in gunmetal. Its younger brother and a far more casual California is next. With a rather special Grigio Silverstone 458 Speciale Aperta. Behind, there's a 599 GTO that we'll look at in a second, but next is a 1952 Bentley Mark VI Graber drophead. Now going back to the Mugello Rosso Ferrari 599 GTO, this has a 1967 Lamborghini 400 GT 2+2 next to it. Yep, not one, but two Mercedes SLS Black Series. The model on the left is a little more special though, as it's only one of 15 right-hand drive cars in the world. If I had the money, I'd buy one of these in a heartbeat. Next up is another Aston Vantage with a beautiful little 1953 Jaguar XK120 SE Roadster. And an equally beautiful 1968 Aston Db5 Volante to its left. At the end of that line is a 1989 Porsche Speedster widebody, a car I imagine many will love. Heading up the centre is a brand new Lamborghini Huracan Aveo. For this next car you'll have to excuse my pronunciation, but it's a 1961 Faisal Vega HK500. At the end of the final row is a Mulliner spec Bentley Azure convertible with a 1973 Pontiac Firebird, a 1996 Ferrari 512M, and finally a more standard Bentley Azure convertible. So I'm done inside, and as you can see, amazing cars. We're talking 20+ million pounds worth of value in there. So now I'm done, it's time to get my freshly clean and unfortunately freshly dirty Abarth photoed. So a few weeks ago I was in London for HRO in Lamborghini filming the Veneno. I'm sure you've seen those videos. If you haven't, I'll leave a link somewhere around here or in the description of the video. On that day I met a great young automotive photographer called Max Trivedi. There's Max there. There's my car, having a little photo shoot. I'll leave all of his Instagram details linked around here and also in the description of the video. I'm sure he's going to create some great results and I can't wait to see them. So it's actually the next day. I totally forgot to conclude the video yesterday, so I'm having to make do with being at home and concluding the video here. A bit unprofessional, but you know, you have to make do sometimes. Anyway, amazing cars yesterday, as always. What was your favourite? What was my favourite? Probably going to be the Abarth for newer cars. In terms of the classics they had there, got to be the Db5 that was sitting outside. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please subscribe for the latest content. Until next time, cheers.